What is up, Netrunners? Welcome to the first ever episode of PeachHack, bringing you games from the North Georgia area. My name is Ben, and I am thrilled to be able to finally bring you guys these games. I've been wanting to record in this area for a while. We got some great players here, and I finally got the recording equipment to do so. So here we are, and what a better time to bring you guys games than our first store championships in the area at Raven's Nest Games in Marietta, Georgia. On the left, we have Jon playing Jinteki Personal Evolution, so he'll deal damage anytime a agenda is scored or stolen. And on the right, we've got Pacer playing Noise, so he'll be milling a card from the corp every time he installs a virus. The latest legal set at this point was the Source, the latest in the lunar cycle, so there are some interesting viruses that came in that pack for Noise, so we'll probably see some interesting stuff from there. But we'll see how it turns out. And it looks like we've got our beginning mandatory draw. And Jon bringing out his little click trackers here while he's using the tags, the bad pub for that. But yeah, I'm really interested to see what kind of personal evolution this is. Lately, the Cambridge shell game style has been in vogue. But I think some people are trying to, try some variations, do some new stuff. I've seen some really interesting kind of glacier-y black tree builds. It looks like he's just going to install and take a couple bucks, leaving R&D wide open. Let's see if Pacer takes advantage of that. And first he's installing Wildside. Pretty standard here for Noise. Going to be getting that card draw. Of course, Anarch's having probably the hardest time getting card draw, and looks like he just clicked back up to get his 3 credits back for Wildside. So, taking it slow, no rush here. He hasn't installed anything, there's no threats on the table, no Ronins, no Cerebrals, no agendas. Ooh, and Celebrity Gift, so we get to see what he's holding. He's holding House of Knives, Fetal AI, Jackson Howard, a Snare, and a Punitive Counterstrike. So he is looking to murder Pacer. Yeah, I think he's going to want him to steal stuff. I mean, Pacer's going to be dumping cards into archives, and there could be lots of agendas in there. So if he runs archives and accesses, he could steal, 3-4 points of agendas and then get punitive or even maybe double punitive. I don't know. Pacer throws down a Cyber Feeder and then a Data Sucker for free using the Cyber Feeder credit milling card. And I think just gain some money. Jon, on the other hand, drawing up a little bit. I wonder what he's going to do to start this killing spree. Going to install there. And looks like he's just going to take a couple more bucks. Now, what did we see there? There's the House of Knives, there's the Fetal, there's the Snare. I wonder if he probably put down the Snare to see if he's going to run unadvanced remotes. Ooh, and the Aesops comes out from Pacer. Wildside Aesop's pretty standard resource suite there. Get your card draw, get your economy engine. And there he goes. Test the server, and it is indeed a Snare. So, let's see, what click is this? This is, I think, click 3, maybe? I wasn't paying close attention. Maybe click 2. And so Pacer takes some damage and a tag. I imagine he'll shake the tag. I mean, he wants to keep those resources around, and Jon is pretty flush with money at this point. Yeah, there he goes. He shakes the tag. He did not trash the Snare, interestingly enough. He sees he has a Jackson in hand. Maybe he wants to prevent him from Jacksoning it back. I don't know. It kind of seems arbitrary, but decides to ice it up. I imagine he'll probably install. Yeah, there he goes. He installs something over it. Takes a buck, I guess. Yep. No real icebreaker pressure coming out yet from Pacer. I don't even know if he's checked R&D yet. And he eats the Data Sucker, so he's not even going to be using that. Eats it to get a few bucks. And puts out a Grimoire. It's going to be pretty useful. And Cash. Oh, okay, yeah. There you go. I mean, Cash, talk about a card that almost single-handedly revitalized Noise. I mean, you can install it for free with Cyber Feeder and then get an extra token from Grimoire for a total of 4 credits for a click. I mean, that's a sure gamble that you don't even have to have money for. In fact, I saw his deck list. I don't even think he has Sure Gamble in his list. And, oh, that was a House of Knives installed in that server. Jon scores it out, feeling confident behind that one ice that Pacer isn't going to be able to get through. And deals that damage. So now even less incentive for Pacer to run because he can get damaged. And, I mean, Noise is an identity that can do well by just kind of sitting back and installing things. But there he goes. He actually runs R&D. Oh, and he sees a Future Perfect. They're playing a game for it. Now, let's see. Pacer's what, at 8? And Jon's at 11. I don't know. It's probably a little bit easier to predict when both money or somebody is flush with cash or not. But Jon offers none, and it looks like Pacer did 1. So it goes on top, and it stays. And Pacer installed the Data Sucker to mill it off. He's going to check for a new card on R&D, knowing that the Future Perfect's there. Oh, it looks like he runs Archives, rather. And he's playing the game again. 2 snares in Archives. 1 got discarded, so that's good for Pacer to see. Attempt number 2 on the side game. 0 to 1. Again, no dice. So we're not seeing a lot of horizontal movement here from Jon, which on one hand is a little bit unusual considering how popular horizontal black tree is, but on the other hand it's really interesting because I like seeing new builds. I don't think I can't remember the last time I saw a punitive Counter-Strike in black tree. I mean, it makes sense. You've got lots of agendas in there for them to steal. Looks like he takes it slow, money's up, still leaving R&D pretty open. He's only got 1 snare in there, unless he's drawn the last snare. Unless he just discarded a snare, I don't know. So I wonder what else he's... Well, I guess he wants Pacer to steal agendas, right? So he wants Pacer to run and steal something big. And Pacer eats that Data Sucker for the money from Aesop's. And I wonder what his game plan is at this point. Well, installing viruses, I think, is a good game plan here at this point. Puts down a Lamprey, which I'm pretty sure he's not really planning on using. I think it's just basically pay the install cost to make the Corp mill a card and then gain $3 with Aesop's next turn. Playing a Subliminal, so he gets a free buck there for 0 clicks effectively. Now, something new behind that server. And still no icebreakers out at all for Pacer. I mean, if that's an end the run ice, he's kind of... I mean, he can do whatever he wants. And yeah, indeed, he eats the Lamprey. Or sells the Lamprey to Aesop, if you want to be thematic. And another cash. Speaking of cash, both players are getting up pretty high there. $17 each. I mean, Pacer hasn't been running a lot, so Jon hasn't needed to res any ice. In fact, I don't think Pacer's run against any iced server at all. And, okay, so Pacer deja vus, and partway through the turn, Jon reses and uses Jackson Howard. I mean, Pacer's got $15 at this point. So he's within Hades' shard range. He could just drop a Hades and access everything right away before Jon could do anything about it. So knowing that there's some agendas hanging out in Archives, he decides to pop Jackson to bring him back. And man, Hades' shard is such... just its existence, like, Pacer hasn't even played it. Or maybe it's in Archives, so Jon knows where it's coming. But, like, just the fact that it exists and the fact that Jon probably knows it's in his deck makes him pop Jackson early. I mean, that's such a strong card just to be able to get rid of Jackson without him having to run. I think it's pretty cool. I think a lot of people have been frustrated with Jackson's prevalence, and this makes it even better. Paying for another cache, it looks like he actually only nets 3 from that because he has to actually pay the install cost instead of the cyber feeder. And both players just kind of sitting back, but lots of mills going on. I mean, how many mills have we gotten so far? Maybe 10 or so? I don't know, at least 5 or 6. I haven't really been paying attention. But now we're icing up R&D. No more chance of just free runs with no icebreakers unless it's on archives. And I mean, if Pacer is taking a no run attitude here, just content to milling cards, he doesn't want to run into any more snares. If that's the pace he's going to take, then Jon really needs to take advantage of that so that he can just score out agendas. I mean, if Pacer isn't going to run, then Corp has free reign to install stuff and score it out. Another cache, and Pacer's up to $25 now. And another thing I've kind of been glossing over here is that the fact that Pacer hasn't been running has meant that subliminal messaging has been doing a lot of work because it just keeps on coming back every turn, and he gets to use it a bunch. But lots of mills here still coming out. Consider those future accesses with a single archives run. And the subliminal comes back again. Now, where are the agendas, though, for Jon? I mean, okay, there's a subliminal. So if Pacer's not running, we've got to see some agendas. Where are they? I wonder what that one is that is just installed face down. I mean, he hasn't advanced it at all. Maybe it's a trap, a psychic field or something. Trying to bait out a run. Cash gets sold for cash to Aesop. Give me the cash. The Gorman drip, which is kind of like a cash. I mean, does it cost a click? I can't remember. I think it does cost a click to take the money off of it. An incubator. That is a brand new virus card that just came out with the source. Gets a virus token every turn, and then you can move all those tokens to another card. I feel like Gorman Drip, I mean, with all the caches that he keeps occurring, I feel like the Gorman Drip is, again, just another cheap virus for another mill. And maybe even incubator to some degree, depending on how he uses it. He's got the data sucker there with 0 tokens on it. I feel like that should have a token from Desperado. Or not Desperado, excuse me, Grimoire. On the other hand, icing up that server on Jon's side, but no movement in terms of that card that's in there. Maybe that's an upgrade. Maybe it's like Caprice. He's trying to set up a scoring server here, which is kind of funny for Black Tree, but I mean, well, he's 1 point up, but I don't know. I if I was sitting across the table from Pacer right now, I wouldn't be worried about my servers being that protected, I guess, because he's not running. He hasn't run in like 10 turns. Though he does put down the medium. Maybe he's going to be dropping something here. Puts the pressure on R&D. Puts down the medium and the lamprey. Getting lots of mills. Lots and lots of mills. And I have to imagine that Jon here is looking for agendas to actually score out. It's possible that Pacer is just milling all the agendas into archives and is getting really lucky. In which case, Pacer just needs to drop the Hades shard if he can. I mean, I don't know if if Jon has a Jackson somewhere where he can prevent that from happening again. Icing up R&D a bit more, just because of that medium, probably. Having said that, getting multi-access versus Jinteki, I feel like is kind of bad because there's more chances of you running into traps, especially snares. You don't want to run into 2 snares in a row that you're forced to access. And drop in Exodity. Brand new virus again from the source. The latest pack illegal in this tournament. And this card hasn't really made that big of a splash in terms of people getting excited about it. But in this deck, again, it's a nice cheap virus that you can just install, get a mill off of, and then sell it to Aesop's next turn. Now there is a brand new server there that Jon created with an open card. Ooh, and there's a Darwin. Okay, so now we finally have an icebreaker out. And that incubator has stayed out. It's got 3 tokens on it. I mean, he could use the incubator to instantly boost Darwin's strength, and then he can put a lot of pressure all sorts of places. Now, was that an agenda that he just placed down? No, subliminal first, of course. Doesn't look like it was an agenda, or else he probably scored out right now. Looks like he just takes money, content to sit back. I feel like neither player really needs money. 27 credits to 27 credits, and Ben Pacer sells, I think that was a lamprey maybe? I wasn't paying attention. Gains another 3. Or it's a data sucker, excuse me. Puts down another cyber feeder, going to make those virus installs even better, and he gets to pump Darwin for free. Ooh, and gets an imp. Now, with imp, he's able to dig through R&D with that medium, and then just trash cards rather than mill cards. So that's pretty good. And now that he has the Darwin and 4 counters on Incubator, I mean, maybe he's going to sit back, wait till something big. Jon gets the subliminal back. Now, Jon does have a House of Knives scored. And, I mean, it looks like Pacer's strategy here is just to be content installing viruses, so dealing net damage to Pacer to get those viruses out of hand would be a pretty big priority, I would think. Making a new server. Feeling unsure about it. Icing it up. I mean, these viruses are starting to look kind of scary, and he's able to pump the Darwin continually. I mean, this would be the turn, I would think, if he was going to hit something. I mean, a Darwin with 7 strength and 29 credits, you could get wherever you want. So, is this going to be a medium dig run? Or is he going to install more viruses? Puts down another imp. So that would look like he's choosing to go the mill route. He already has an imp with 3 counters on it. Well, having said that, he can mill 2 cards now. Or trash 2 cards. And you can't see that off screen, but he just put down a nerve agent. I tried to mark out where the camera could see, but alas. It is a nerve agent off screen, I promise. I was there. Do we have another agenda here for Jon? And he pulled back the subliminal himself here. So much money in these games right now. There it is. Takes a buck. Advances that twice. Tempting the run here. Well, maybe not that tempting. I mean, what would you advance twice and just leave there after a turn? I mean, it could be the fetal. It could be a trap. I'd be surprised if it was a future perfect. And Pacer sold that Nerve Agent off screen to Aesop's and installed a Gorman Drip for another mill, which he put off screen again, but then he moved over. That's very nice of you. Thank you. Still, I mean, he has a potential for a 9-strength Darwin right now. I kind of just want to see some runs. Let's see some runs. Do it. Having said that, Jon's deck is starting to look kind of thin. It's probably over half dead now. Pacer could be just going for a straight mill situation, like not just like dumping agendas into archives and accessing them later, but straight up winning by milling. I don't know if I've ever had that happen to me. I've come close, but it's by far the least common victory that you'll see in Netrunner. Oh, it looks like Jon had accidentally forgotten to discard. I think he ended up discarding a Subliminal, which was fair because everyone knew that he had a bunch of Subliminals in hand. Or at least because he had discarded them before and then pulled them both back. Oh, and he makes a run on R&D without the Incubator and no res. It's a Jackson. Decides to imp it. That is actually really big in this matchup. You need those Jacksons to keep your deck alive. And uses both imp counters to mill. So he mills the Jackson and he mills an Ice. Just getting that deck smaller and smaller. So he actually had a run. No Subliminal pullback. It's a miracle. That deck is getting very thin. Very thin indeed. Oh, and he chooses to Purge. I think that is not a bad idea. Prevents more runs in the future because that Darwin's going to have to take some time to get back up to strength. I wonder why he didn't res any Ice on that R&D run. I mean, he also could have used the House of Knives, too. At the very least, you want to make him pay $2 per subroutine to break stuff. And you've got the money. You've got so much money. Oh, and he pays for the Darwin here. I really wonder what that card is that's advanced. I actually think it is a Fetal AI. I think because I did watch this game before, and I wasn't paying attention here. And I'm pretty sure I remember watching him place down a Fetal AI there. I'm 99% sure that's a Fetal AI that's advanced. Pacer still content to build himself back up, mill some cards, take some money. Now, if that is a Fetal AI and he's not scoring it out, it means he wants to deal the damage, and then maybe he's still holding a putative, hoping for a big run to be able to punitive him with to kill him. When you run a Fetal, you take 2 damage or 3 damage. Then you get punitive for 2 damage. It's pretty strong. And money's up. And install something. Oh, no. Yes, no. There. So whatever that card was that wasn't iced up, that was probably a trap. I imagine either another snare or maybe a psychic field or something. Though, I mean, Psychic Field might not be a card that you'll see in Jon's deck. I mean, this isn't your standard horizontal black tree. Those viruses starting to look a little bit scary now. Again, Darwin at the potential of 4 strength. Right now only at 2 strength. And another imp goes down. The other imp is empty, but this one now has 3 counters. Probably not going to see the R&D run. And man, that deck is getting so small. And we've only seen one Jackson get popped, and another one's in the trash. It's possible that both other Jacksons are in the trash at this point. In which case, he's kind of screwed. I mean, he's got to... I mean, how many cards is that? It's got to be almost nothing. He only has, what, 1 point. He's got to be scoring out stuff. All the agendas must be in archives. There's probably, what, not even 10 cards left in the deck. Pacer could probably drop a Hades Shard and just win. Or pump up the Darwin and make a run on archives and just win. I mean, it could be a Jackson now on the field. There's two possibilities. And he decides to purge again. Probably to prevent that scenario. Maybe waiting for Jackson to get on the board so that he can fix archives. But, man, I mean, no agendas coming out here for Jon. That's got to be really frustrating just to not be able to do anything. I mean, you can't put pressure on Pacer to force Pacer to run and win. We're, what, almost a half an hour into the game, and 1 agenda has been scored. Jin coming out for Pacer, which is kind of late, but still going to let him install more viruses. Puts down a Deja Vu. And my guess is this is going to be another couple caches, because he needs more money, I guess. It's $27 right now. Those 2 caches represent $4 more each. And there's 1 cache. Do we see the other? Maybe. Maybe not. We can see 4 cards in the deck left. Oh, and that was a Jackson that he just popped underneath that double iced server. So waiting for the right moment, seeing that he's only got 4 cards left. I mean, that's 4 turns, assuming no more mills. Now, one thing that's kind of interesting here is that since Jon has rezzed 0 ice, Pacer has installed 0 parasites. Now, with a virus-heavy deck, you'd think there's probably going to be at least 3 parasites. So that represents 3 mills that we have not seen coming out from Pacer. Which is kind of unfortunate. If you do take the sit-back and mill strategy, then you've got no ice with which to use the parasites on. So 3 mills that you can't make. So he used the Jackson, did his draw, and... Ooh, a second House of Knives. So if Pacer ever does run, he can put on the punishment. 2 damage just for making a run, regardless of stealing an agenda or not. And, Pacer, I'm still probably not feeling a lot of pressure yet. I mean, it's only 2 agendas, and Jackson brought back 3 cards. So, what, there's, I guess, 6 cards now left in R&D. Pacer is completely out of cards. Having said that, Pacer had, well, let's see, how many cards? I can't tell, his hand is in the way. It looks like he has 1 card left in his stack. That wild side is quickly going to become useless, so it'll probably be the next target for Aesop's, I imagine. But Pacer, let's see, he's got to If that is a fetal on the board for Jon, that represents 4 more points and a net damage. So Jon basically has to score a future perfect, and then score out that fetal if that is a fetal. I believe it is a fetal. So he has time if he can get a future perfect. But it looks like his time is quickly running out. It does look like he has, I think, a Utopia shard in hand. That'll do it. It's not a future perfect, but when it's installed, it might as well be a future perfect. Four cards in R&D. His time is running short. 3 cards now after a draw. He installs. Looks like this has to be that agenda. Advanced twice, yeah. This has to be that 3-pointer. I believe it was a Utopia shard, or excuse me, Utopia fragment. Oh, he decides he needs to fix his turn. He meant to play the subliminal first, then install Advanced Advance. I think Pacer is okay with that. Lots of triggers there at the beginning of the turn for Pacer. But he did sell the Wild Side, which is useless now. Three cards left in R&D, and Pacer is out of cards in his stack. Does he have 3 viruses? He doesn't need 3 viruses. He needs 2 viruses.
That's right. I'm sorry. I was so used to you losing my click that I. All right.
Subliminal comes back in a mandatory draw. 2 cards left in R&D. And that's got to be the Utopia fragment. There it is. 5 points now for Jon. Now, if that is a fetal AI in that other server, then he wins next turn. I believe Jon just forgot the net damage also from that Utopia fragment, which is actually huge. Pacer needs to kill 2 cards off R&D. And if he has any viruses in hand, that's going to get him closer to that goal. So you're going to want to take those viruses away. I don't even know how many cards he has left in hand. Missing that net damage was actually pretty huge. But, I mean, so he hasn't installed anything yet. So Pacer, not sure what he's going to do. If he has the Hades shard, he could probably just drop it and, well, depending on how many cards in hand, he could just win out of archives, assuming he doesn't take too much damage. Making a run on R&D, no M counters. Is he able to trash this card with money? Oh, and it's the Jackson. They got Jackson back from before. That is huge, being able to do that. And no usage of the House of Knives on that run, too. That's 2 more opportunities to do net damage. I can't see Pacer's hand size. It looks like it might be... It's at least 4. But if he has anything in there... I mean, presumably he would have installed viruses that he could install already. Because if he installs a virus, he wins right now. Checking what Utopia Fragment does. It increases the cost it is to steal an advanced card, advanced agenda, by 2 for each agenda counter on it. And he pops the incubator onto the imp. So he's going to hit R&D again, trying to imp that last card away. So that no matter what it is, he can get rid of it. So this, again, is another opportunity for the House of Knives. But he's got to res something to keep him out, right? I mean, because if he just lets him in, he loses straight up. So he's got to res something. Is it completely porous? Is that why he hasn't been resing anything yet? It was too bad that he hasn't been able to tax him. And there we go. There's a res of Lotus Field. And Darwin is at 3, so Pacer will bounce. No usage of the House of Knives. And there's the Parasite. That is the last mill of the game. And Pacer has won by decking Jon. Congratulations to Pacer. I don't know if I've ever even seen decking happen terribly often at all. But, wow. That fetal AI, if that was a fetal AI in there, I believe it was, then Jon would have won the next turn. So, I mean, that was pretty crucial. And but Pacer is able to pull off. It's disappointing to watch the potential net damages not go off. But yeah, it happens sometimes when the game goes on that long. I mean, there was such a long period of time where no scores happened, so it's possible just to forget that you're even able to do net damage. But regardless, congratulations to Pacer. Well played, and we will be bringing you Game 2 of this first round match coming up. So sit tight, and thanks for watching.